Hi, my name is Marina James. I'm a behavioral therapist and a life coach. Welcome to my channel. In this video, I will address a painful topic of fibromyalgia. What it is, how it's diagnosed, treatment, living with it, and of course, tips and tools on how to thrive with it. Now, let's get into it. Before we get into what that is, let me just mention that I have been diagnosed and living with fibromyalgia for the past 19 years, and I would have loved to have the information I'm about to share with you at the time of my diagnosis. So, fibromyalgia is a condition that causes widespread pain. It affects about 4 million US adults, which is about 2% of adult population. Now, what are the symptoms of fibromyalgia? Common symptoms are pain and tenderness all over the body, fatigue and tiredness, depression and anxiety, sleep problems, headaches including migraines, problems with concentrating, thinking clearly. It's also something that is called fibro fog. Additional problem may include pain in the face or the jaw, digestive problems such as abdominal pains, bloating, or irritable bowel syndrome, also known as IBS, pelvic pain, tenderness to the touch, numbness or tingling in arms and legs. What are the causes of fibromyalgia? Well, that is still unclear. It might be different for different people. Current research suggests that it involves the nervous system, specifically the central nervous system, which is the brain and spinal cord. Contrary to what other people believe, fibromyalgia is not a form of autoimmune disease, joint problems, inflammation, or muscle disorder. However, it may run in a family, but genes alone does not cause fibromyalgia. There are always triggering factors. It might be spinal problem, arthritis, stress, physical injury. Emotional stress can also trigger fibromyalgia. For me personally, it was a stressful life event that manifested itself into widespread pain 6 months after it happened. I had no idea what happened to me. One day I woke up in excruciating pain. I thought I broke something without knowing what. I was not in a car accident. I did not bump into anything. Nothing bumped into me, yet the pain was excruciating. I tried sleeping with neck brace. I could not sit in chairs except for straight and no more than 30 minutes. I ended up buying an air mattress to sleep on because I could no longer sleep in a bed. I thought it was a problem with my bones. So I ended up making an appointment with a specialist, thinking that there was something wrong with my skeletal structure, that I've injured some kind of a bone system, nervous system, I didn't know what. I went into the doctor's office who looked at me and he said, "Oh, well, this is muscle problems, which probably means you have fibromyalgia, so you need to make an appointment with a specialist for that." It took 3 months for me to get another appointment. During that time, I decided to do some research. We already had Google. It was dial-in, but it was Google. I looked at what is possibly happening to my body because I have not really heard of fibromyalgia prior to this. I found out, and I could not find the same search results now, but back then it showed that event as far as 6 months back could cause fibromyalgia. That is how your body reacts to the stress. I started thinking, well, what in the world happened? And sure enough, 6 months prior to the pain, I did have an extremely stressful event in my life. I changed my diet, I changed my sleeping patterns, I changed my exercise routine, and I went finally to the proper specialist who said to me, "Oh, well, you're doing everything correctly. If you need me, you know where to find me, but you're good." Recent results show that what happens is that the way your body communicates in itself changes between the spinal cord and your brain. Some of the proteins could change as well. More recently, fibromyalgia has been described as a central pain amplification disorder, meaning that the sensitivity in your brain is turned up to high. What are the risk factors of fibromyalgia? Fibromyalgia can affect people of all ages, including children. However, women of middle age are more likely to get it, and it is more likely that you will have it as you get older. Additionally, if you have lupus or rheumatoid arthritis, you're more likely to develop it as well. As I mentioned before, stressful events as far back as 6 months and even further, stressful childhood, repetitive injuries, including car accidents, illnesses like viral infections, and even obesity is a risk factor in fibromyalgia. There are certain criteria that needs to be filled to be diagnosed with fibromyalgia. First of all, the symptoms must be present for at least 12 weeks, or about 3 months. Doctors will look at your pain and your symptoms over the last week, and they will examine 19 trigger points, as you can see here, that might be present in your body and the severity of it. Most likely, doctors will also ask you about fatigue, waking up tired, and cognitive memory problems or brain fog. If there are no other explanation for your symptoms, you will be given diagnosis of fibromyalgia. So, how's fibromyalgia diagnosed? Doctors looked at patient's history, x-rays, blood work, and physical examination. Okay, so what are the complications of fibromyalgia? You could end up in a hospital more, you might have lower quality of life, there could be more injuries involved, there are higher death rates from suicides and injuries, and you're more likely to have other comorbid conditions like arthritis. Adults with fibromyalgia are 3 times more likely to have major depression. So what does it feel like to have fibromyalgia? Pain, fibro fog, exhaustion. And did I mention pain? Mentally, the psychological symptoms of fibromyalgia affect motivation. Studies show a lot of negative feelings, including frustration, shame, the perception of being useless, and guilt. So, how's fibromyalgia treated? Fibromyalgia can be successfully treated with medicine and self-management techniques. A multidisciplinary approach is the best way to treat fibromyalgia. It includes medicine, education, exercise, and cognitive behavioral therapy. You can take a variety of over-the-counter pain-reducing medicine like Tylenol, Advil. I prefer Excedrin. Doctors can also prescribe medicine that needs to be taken daily or as needed basis like Tramadol. The best dietary supplements you can take are omega fatty acids, magnesium, and vitamin D3 plus K2. Most fibromyalgia patients have sedentary lifestyle. However, moving is the best way to reduce your pain. Studies show that strengthening exercises will reduce inflammation and build up muscles, thus reducing the amount of pain you're in. The best basic exercise routine to start with is twice a week on non-consecutive days for about an hour each time. Yes, it will be hard to start an exercise routine when you're not used to it and when you're in constant pain. Just say to yourself, start low, go slow. Stop when you need to stop. Push yourself slightly, but not too much. You don't want to overdo it, but at the same time, you do want to progress. Your exercise routine can include swimming, walking, aerobics, biking, yoga. Soon I will put out a video with my yoga routine as well. Now remember, do not give up and just keep moving forward. Stress management techniques are extremely important. Meditation, yoga, massage, self-massage, taking time for yourself will get you through the toughest days. Good sleep habits are extremely important. Make sure you have a good bed. Make sure that you try not to take naps because the goal is to get you into a deep cycle because that is when you recover from pain. There's going to be another video on sleep techniques, so stay tuned for that. Cognitive behavioral therapy is extremely useful to treat depression and to change your behavior overall. Educate yourself. There's a lot of organizations like the National Arthritis Organization. Website link is below that will give you a lot more additional information. In the beginning of this video, I promised you that I wasn't just going to show you how to live with fibromyalgia, but how to thrive with it. Now, let's get into that. It is possible. First, when you will encounter the problem, you will be either diagnosed or self-diagnosing yourself. You are going to be in shock. Then you're going to go through the motions of mourning the life that you are not going to have because you have fibromyalgia. Now, thinking about what you're going to lose because you have this painful condition can be very depressing. So just pause there for a second and grieve your loss. and then look at what you actually have as of that moment. Focus on what you can do to be better, not what caused your illness. There was a moment in my life, about 3 years after my diagnosis. At that time, I was a mother to 5 children, ages 3 through 9, and I was quite a bit depressed. I was always in pain. I had tons of goals and dreams prior to my diagnosis, and I felt like I was stuck and I could never reach any of them. I went to a self-development course, and there I asked, or shall I say, and there I brought to a leader my problem. I said, I have all these goals and I have all these dreams, but I have fibromyalgia. So what am I supposed to do with that? He looked at me and he said, you have goals and dreams and you have fibromyalgia. At that moment, I had a light bulb. Hold on, you mean fibromyalgia does not have to stop me from reaching my goals and my dreams? I just have all of it? I have fibromyalgia and goals and dreams. Now that was very interesting discovery for myself. I figured out how to manage my condition so I still can reach all of my goals. And here I am now telling you about it. So, the first thing you need to know, and the most important one, you have to take care of yourself first. Do you know how when you fly in an airplane, there's a little video and it shows that if the pressure in the cabin drops, masks fall out, and they specifically tell you, you need to make sure that you put the mask on yourself first before you put the mask on someone who might need it next to you. Do you know why that is? Because if you are unconscious, you cannot help anyone. The same thing with fibromyalgia. If you're not feeling well, if you feel crappy, if you feel stressed, if you feel depressed, you cannot take care of anyone. You're no good to anyone, including to yourself. In order to live a full life, including if you have fibromyalgia, you must take care of yourself first. Figure out a regular routine that works for you. You need to make sure you sleep right. You need to make sure you eat right. You need to make sure that you exercise. You need to make sure you have time for yourself. Start stretching. Make sure that you are in motion. Do not sit for too long at one time. If you're sitting down, the pain will persist. If you stand up and stretch, it will diminish. So turn on some music if you cannot move because you're just incapable at that moment. Music will get you going. Getting on top of your fibromyalgia symptoms could be kind of like this. It could be 2 steps forward and 1 step back. You never know what might set you off. It could be changes in weather. It could be loud music. It could be not being ready when you go outside. So always be ready because the sun will come out tomorrow. Have sunglasses with you. Be ready with headphones so that other noises do not bother you. Make sure you eat right. Make sure you drink plenty of fluids. Make sure you continually stretch. And soon I will have my daily routine following up this video and my yoga stretches. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up. And if you love it, subscribe to get more. And don't forget to share this with someone who you think might benefit from it. Talk to you later. До свидания.